Raffle is the proceeds of this raffle is to go to our building permit fund. The permits that are necessary for us to operate as a community center and a smoking facility as well. So, as I turn around,
Come on, split. Yeah.
Maybe that's the one.
Maybe that's the one. Come on down.
I'll go put it back in there.
Ooh, you gotta put it. You gotta put it back in.
Oh no.
Tony gonna pull it.
Anybody else? Wow. What is good? I gotta have
Yeah. Oh, happy Lives today.
I 4, 2, 6, 9.
6'9". Hey, baby. That was a psychic moment.
Co-op Writers Group. We've been doing some writing about why we're medical cannabis patients. And then we were also going to have a discussion about, I guess lots of different things too. Prop 250, the regulations, lots of different things like that. Because this co-op is the San Francisco Patients Cooperative and Medical Cannabis Community Center. That's why we call it the co-op, because it's a lot of long things.
Or we just call it 350 to visit
Yeah, a
era.
lot of people call it
We call it home.
Call it home, yeah, really. Home away from home.
That's right. Home is one of them four-letter words you like to use.
Better than my living room.
But okay, and so some people are writing about why they're medical cannabis patients, and some people are writing other things because we finally have different places that will publish our stuff. Green Kind magazine will carry our stuff. We've got a website. Cannabis Culture will carry our stuff.
Really?
Yeah. And we're also we've figured out some ideas for publishing our own stuff too again.
Wow.
So it's happening.
And you're on cable TV too.
And look at this. This
And
one
we're on
on
cable
cable
TV.
TV. Everybody, hi.
Hi, everybody.
Right. 350,000 viewers.
All right.
Free the mother that the 6-year-old.
Not really, Randy. I edited it.
That's all right. Well, it'd never be a lady. Joey also wrote about his opinion. When he wrote about medical cannabis, I'll read. He said, "I would like to say about my medical cannabis usage and how good it is in helping the sick and poor. How our ill are being and being poor and sick, and they can't get the medicine that you need.
That's the worst thing.
It's a shame. And don't you think so too?" Right.
It would be a shame.
It sure would be a shame. And that's kind of part of what our discussion is going to be talking about a little bit.
Who wrote that, Randy?
This was written by Joey.
Okay.
Okay, and then another one of our patients here, why I am a medical marijuana patient. You're 49 years old, wake up in pain, and my insides burn, and it's about 5 or 5:30, and you take 3 meds. They expect, nausea and pain all day without the medical marijuana. Let's see. I couldn't put this part. Couldn't get up to go eat or anything without it, right? Yeah.
Can I have paper and pen?
Sure. Here, honey, medical cannabis, medical marijuana. And then what happens is they see 2 pictures. They in their head they see the picture of what they call medical. You're laying in a hospital, or you're in a hospice or something, and all they see is what Western medicine is all about, being hooked up to machines and IVs, laying there isolated. And medical cannabis is a whole new thing. It's about all of us being together and helping each other. So
And functioning.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Look at
And
us.
being productive.
We're not laying around in a Thorazine state. Right?
I mean, a person can use medical marijuana without, being near death.
That's right.
You can use it for migraines. You can use it for
Oh, yeah.
cramps in women. You can use it
Although
for
I want to be stoned near death.
Hey, that's the way to go.
There you go.
Actually, yeah.
Can I take it?
Sure.
Do you guys have arthritis? Since I was a baby, you get some cheap alcohol, any kind of cheap alcohol, and then you put some green bud, even if it's seeded or anything.
Right.
And the better the bud, the better it is, and that stuff will rot in there. And you put that on and wherever you have arthritis in the morning, because when the morning is the worst, you wake up and you're all messed up, like on your knee or your hand. Because I put on my hands, I put on my knees. I put on my ankles and my feet,
Sure.
and it literally stimulates you, and you can feel it tingling.
Yeah, it's a type of tincture, I think they call it, you know?
You can start moving around. It's not as bad because when you're all messed up. With
A medicinal medical marijuana salve.
The Mexicans have been using it for years.
Isn't that a tincture, Randy, when you use an alcohol like that?
Yeah, it can be called a tincture, it can be called an application or an elixir. Mainly, a tincture can be, a lot of people call what's under the tongue. But it's applied, you can apply topical too. And it really does work. You know, it really
Those
does.
are old remedies from the old country, you know?
Exactly.
And
That's one I've always used though.
Yeah, well,
My
hey, kitty cat's in the house.
It's called My Sanctuary on Earth.
All right, let's see.
350 to Visit Durham by J.B. Saunders. As a socio-economically deprived black man in America, times often are very difficult for me. Living in an expensive and sometimes very hostile and cold city, San Francisco, California. Yet, when I'm feeling down and out and in physical and mental pain, I know where I can go for relief and healing. To the San Francisco Patients Cooperative and Medical Cannabis Center, located at 350 Division Durham. They have all kinds of people there, all colors and sexual orientations, all peaceful and kind, and generous. It is a sort of paradise on earth for those of us suffering from various physical, psychological, and spiritual ailments. I love this place. It is a true hospital, especially in the area of spiritual and psychological healing. A life-saving place is 350, a place of peace, love, and positivity.
Wow.
we love you, man.
What I use cannabis for is for my bad feet. And, I'm gonna buy some of this stuff I tried over here for a thing I had on my back. Worked pretty good. Anyway, it helps besides smoking it. There's other things that it helps. And, it's pretty good. The doctors, I don't see why they overlooked it. It's because they couldn't see anything. They laughed at it. They thought he didn't have nothing. But God said he wouldn't. There's something we ain't supposed to see, and it helps us. And I think this is one of them.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
at the same time.
I remember after seeing the movie, I mean, Alvin Lee and 10 Years After toured. And that was like the first concert I ever seen was 10 Years After. And I was like, my God, that was amazing. And you'd see Alvin Lee singing, I'm going home, I'm going home. You know, that red guitar. And he was out there doing it. I said, wow.
That was a long time ago.
It was. I'm an old sucker.
Did he go home?
I've had a little work.
I guess.
I need some work.
That's one of my most favorite songs.
It's a good one.
Did he die?
No, Alvin Lee is still around, yeah. Another great song was, of course, Rock and Roll Music to the World, and then, God, there's that other one that's really, really great.
Oh, shoot, that whole album was incredible.
Yeah.
Everything on that album was just outrageous. Those were the days. Oh,
Choo Choo Mama.
yeah.
I used to have fun
Isn't it funny how back when we were growing up, that music was like, your parents were like, turn that crap down. And now you got Jimi Hendrix music selling cars.
Talk to me.
You know.
First time I heard Jimi Hendrix, I was terrified. I said, turn it again, turn it off. I'm scared.
You know, it was a great song back then. Was Procol Harum, A Wider Shade of Pale,
That's a record for me.
Yeah.
Blind Faith stuff. You know.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
From music, what is that? Music,
Oh, don't, make sure we get that top 15 book back when they're done with it. As we prepare this training that
Were they talking about the guy that was passing out the money?
No, this is, yeah.
I'm gonna have to split because I'm on my car's park.
Oh,
But I
okay.
have a range.
Good, want to read it real loud?
Read it.
Read it real
Read it.
All
fast.
right.
Hold on.
I was gonna say rave and I crossed it out and said rage. Okay, so be prepared.
Why don't you tell us your name? You're gorgeous.
No.
Her name is gorgeous.
Excellent. Got the hearts right in front of you. Great prop.
I'm ashamed Berkeley is marching for women's rights in Iran when our vicious men are beating the drums of war against this innocent nation.
Here, here.
I'm a medical marijuana patient because I don't believe in these men anymore. I don't believe in them or their lies. Synthetics are harmful to humans because we cannot metabolize and process that which is unknown. Frankenstein food, Frankenstein medicine. This shit is damaging our organs, brain, and nervous systems. Marijuana is a plant with powerful medicine known and used for thousands of years.
That's right.
It is truly a wondrous herb. It heals. So these wicked men take away our power to serve their elite classist wisdom. Wisdom, my ass, they're bullshit. They lie, they cheat, they steal, and power to the peaceful, and they guy rise.
Teach them.
Diane Feinstein, what happened?
I am known in the medical marijuana community as the Holy Hemptress of my life's work. I'm an honor graduate of the University of California in Santa Cruz, and I'm the mother of 2 successful adults. Without my medical cannabis, because of the numerous and very serious injuries that I have sustained throughout my life, I would become bedridden with chronic pain and spasms running throughout my entire body. I am allergic to the painkillers that I am prescribed by my other doctors that are hypocrites that refuse to recognize medical marijuana as a medicine, even though they know that it is a medicine, because I have talked to them regarding this matter. Without my medical cannabis, cannabinoids and THC, I would become a non-productive citizen. The SF Patients Co-op is a place of sanctuary. It has harm reduction sessions, bingos, sessions, writers groups, veterans groups, and a host of other services provided by the club. A birthday there is never forgotten. A death in this family is never looked over. And those that are in need are taken care of with good advice, with caring, and compassion too. It does abound in this sacred space. There is sharing and laughter and hugs everywhere. And this place, in reality, is what is needed. It should be in every town throughout the land. Patients are human beings, not to be discriminated nor prejudicial. If you voted for Prop 215 and believe in the medicine, think kindly of the patients that need it, for we are not criminals or people to be shamed. Allow for our dispensaries to provide safe access. Allow our community centers to stay open and thrive. Because things like this keeps us alive. Learn all you can regarding hemp biomass and cannabis. Open your hearts and minds so the doctors, the seed providers, the growers, and patients can live peaceful lives. Thank you, Mayor.
Good.
All right, son. All right. When you
walk to stores within any given season, from every window down to all the boards that form the floors. That when even every beam, even every soul has a reason and a purpose, any given day that we gather.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yay, that's great.
That said it. That said it.
Said it.
San Francisco Patient Co-op is actually nothing without the patient. Because it's run for patients, by patients. So, and the other thing I wrote was that the drug war is public enemy number one. Because it treats everything unilaterally. There's no difference between medicine and any other usage. And the drug war is public enemy number one because it does not allow for civil human rights. And because it denies the fact that people should be entitled to do what they want with their own bodies. That's what I wrote so far. It was just observation. That's what I wrote so far. It was just observation. And the other thing I wrote is Big Brother, whitewash in politics, deception plays it best when agendized.
Definitely.
So that's what I wrote.
All right.
So that's what I wrote.
All right.
Okay. So how are you doing? Did you write something?
All right, how you doing, bro?
Women and men like me is concerned with healing power from God's gift of freedom on earth. All you have to do is not listen to your thoughts with what God didn't give you.
Oh, wow. All right.
What didn't God give you?
What didn't God give you? All right. Oh, wow. All right.
What didn't God give you?
What didn't God give you? All right.
It's pretty deep,
That's
dude.
all you have to
it is.
figure out.
That's pretty deep.
Figure that out. And maybe you'll get somewhere.
For sure.
It's a mystery, I guess.
All right. Huh?
Oh, can of worms.
A whole can of worms. How you been, sweetie?
Oh, I'm just dealing with myself. I got no complaint.
You want to write something for the group?
I got here a few minutes late, but I'm just enjoying everything I'm hearing.
Okay.
You know, they said we can't participate, sit back quiet and just
You
listen.
want to write something for the group? You can.
You're from the city? You're from San Francisco?
I was born in Florida. I'm a Floridian.
Excellent. So you're living now here in the San Francisco area?
I love you.
Welcome.
Dorian.
Johnny.
Meeting that I attended the other night, and meeting the police commissioner that works with the planning commissioner in writing the ordinance for the San Mateo County. The patients there do have a victory. Yes, you're allowed to partake within your own homes. After 10 years of this law being in place, isn't that great?
250.
Yes, Prop 250.
Well, Santa Clara is next. I mean, you know, the thing is with Santa Clara, I mean, it's just like, it's like another country.
Yeah.
San Mateo, thank God.
Right, it's San Mateo County. I applaud you that you are going to allow 10 patients per cooperative, but I also ask you to search your hearts because there's more than 10,000 people in the county of San Mateo that needs medicine. I would ask that you allow dispensaries to be in your county. When I was at the meeting the other night, people kept saying, well, this isn't San Francisco, this isn't San Francisco. Well, you mean to tell me that San Francisco is the only compassionate place on the planet?
Or there's
It's the
only
only-
sick people in San Francisco?
Yeah, excuse me. Please open your hearts. I heard hypocrisy from all of your mouths coming out saying that you voted for Prop 215, but you didn't want the medicine in your neighborhoods. Well, guess what? There are patients living in your neighborhoods, and the medicine is already there. So please allow them to have dispensaries, allow them to have clubs like the Patients Group of San Francisco Co-op. Please, it is a really healthy and wonderful thing for people to be able to be a part of. Please do not deny patients what they deserve.
Thanks, Sonia.
As far as South San Francisco, and every other county in California, it's very simple. You're basing your laws on a misinterpretation of SB 420 that goes back to Bill Lockyer and heads on down through, error by error, city attorney by city attorney, county attorney by county attorney, throughout the entire state of California. To wit, the movers, shakers, founders, and writers of SB 420, including Barney Frank, Mark Leno, Terrence Hallinan, Dale Geringer, and many, many others. Never intended SB 420 to be written as a ceiling law. It was actually meant to be a suggestion for counties and cities that had no protection for patients at all. Okay? Now then, under SB 420, patients are, of course, protected from arrest. They should be respected. The numbers that are written were never meant to be a ceiling. In the case of the plant numbers, 6 mature and 12 immature, they were meant basically as suggestions.
Exactly.
They were never meant to be the rule, and as a matter of fact, what they were trying to actually make happen was more closely associated with the Chris Conrad canopy rule rather than a numbers rule.
It seems like after 10 years, that's why they're still dissecting this law.
Yeah. If anything, the misinterpretation has taken Prop 215 and is taking the balls right out from it. Prop 215 was never meant to be a noose around the patient's neck. It was never meant to be a dividing line. SB 420 was never meant. Matter of fact, it says right here, counties and cities are authorized to establish higher, but not lower limits if they wish for the plants. And these localities that have already adopted limits, okay, cannot be lower than the state limit and must be considered above. And counties not listed below, there's a list here, adhere to at least the limit of 6 mature and 12 immature. And San Francisco is not listed on that list. We didn't have to follow SB 420 word for word because we already had things in place. And then it says right here, following up on the guidelines, localities listed below, localities not listed below are supposed to adhere on the second list to SB 420. The ones down here I have that say they don't have to adhere are Berkeley, Butte, Calaveras, Del Norte, El Dorado, Humboldt, Kern, Marin, Mendocino, Nevada, Oakland, San Diego and Chula Vista, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, and Sonoma. These counties have already had in place a functioning, localized medical cannabis program already in place.
Essentially governing their own.
Essentially governing their own. All they needed to do was perhaps formalize how these places come into being, make sure they have guidelines on who can open and close. They didn't have to go to the extent that they did. As it stands right now, this place, according to the 1,000-foot rule, is there anything to light up here? Anyway, this place, according to the 1,000-foot rule, I am breaking the law.
At this establishment here at 350, we're that close?
Establishment right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
This place was founded in 1999. We worked hand in hand with the city government. We wrote legislation. It's Article 19F of the San Francisco Health Code, which is the exception where places like this are permitted to have patients medicate inside.
In a safe environment like this, it's the best place to be.
Absolutely.
It's the best place to be.
Come and get me.
There you go. Thank you, Randy.
Now then, I don't normally like to do that, but this is the problem.
No, we're at war right now. We really are. This is silent war.
The United Kingdom has studies from the Department of Motor Vehicles that proves
Best place to be.
Come and get me.
There you go. Thank you, Randy.
Come on, cut it out.
Oh, well, people that take the marijuana, they can't drive. Well, that's fallacy. That is not true. There are researchers around the world that will tell you that is absolutely not true.
Well, I really can't advocate that, but the thing is,
I
is
can't.
like,
I've read the research.
yeah.
And it's even
no.
happened here in the United States as well.
Medication is medication, though. You got to remember.
Yes, this
I mean,
is an herb, and
yeah.
this does not make you drunk. It does not make you stupid. All it does is make you
violent.
well, or violent.
Oh, I know that.
That's
Now,
right.
then you must also remember that it is medicating when a person
Yeah, you have
is
to
a
use
card
it
carrying
responsibly.
member.
There you
Use
go.
it responsibly. Do not abuse it. Use it responsibly.
There you
When a person is having a letter of recommendation or something else, if they're riding in a car, driving in a car, I'm a seizure patient. I need to medicate or else. So I'm not going, oh, you have to pull over at that rest stop a mile and a half down the road.
Oh, exactly.
By then, I'm like,
Yeah, right. My arm is spasming by that.
No, I'm good. Anyway, you had something you wanted to say, my dear? Go for it.
History called reefer madness.
Yeah, the one.
There you go.
They were saying they used it to separate people racially, sexually, because they said that if you was just normal, it'd make you freak out and rape women, and so on and so forth. But I'm saying that to say, don't forget, they were saying sounds shocking to people. Like when Sonia said, it improves your focus.
Right.
In certain ways, when you do medicinal marijuana, the government puts out disinformation.
Certainly.
They have a department of the CIA that deals with domestic intelligence and deals with these kind of issues. So let's not forget that.
Yeah.
And let's put out the truth.
And the federal and the police commissioner was a double agent with the federal government that wrote the ordinance for the San Mateo County, South San Francisco. Now, you think, oh, joy, they get to have 10 people per cooperative. Believe me, if there's people that don't know about the cooperatives, they're going to be without their medicine. And to force them to have to leave their communities to get and obtain medicine is really a crime. There are people with mobility issues. When you people said you wanted the patients to go out into the industrial areas of San Mateo County to be able to grow their medicine, did you think about accessibility? Did you think about the bus lines, or maybe somebody in a wheelchair that can't get around, or people on crutches? Did you for 1 minute think about them? You really need to stop with this discrimination. I mean, in this hatred. You have to search your hearts and your minds and become educated.
Okay, Little Dave.
Go to the websites. Yeah, Little Dave said something.
Little Dave wants
Hello, folks. My name's Little Dave. Welcome to 350 to Visit Daryl. If you people have not noticed, I might not be on staff, but I'm doing all the advocacy work, the fundraising. Or my goal is $10,000, my friend. They said it can't be done. Check this out. I got a little good news for you. So far, it's only been a total about 48 days, and I've already raised $3,558 for this club. And I'm going all the way with it. I got 7 more months to come up with 10 grand. Watch
Better
and
believe
see our,
it.
watch and
2
see
more
our
months, I'll
good
give it to you.
certificate up on the wall.
Hell yeah.
I'm very proud. I'm a patient as well since Dennis Perone's days. My name's Little Dave, and I go way back. And I just got a good birthday present from my dear and good friend Big Joe, a 22-foot RV, and it says my name.
Go for it, man.
I'm very proud of what we have done for the movement so far. I have written the president. I have had no response yet, but everything is looking up for this project, and you will see that gold certificate on that wall.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. God bless you.
For sure.
I love for states and cities and counties to just arbitrarily legislate an activity or business out of existence for irrational reasons. The drug war has no basis in rationality.
Okay.
The medical cannabis issue is rational. It's based in rationality.
That's right.
The people continue to bust and raid these facilities, and the people
Getting paid to do it.
who
Imagine.
legislate these facilities so that they can't exist are in violation of many laws, okay? Okay, one of them is called the State versus Gravit, and that's a Supreme Court case, to wit it is illegal for a state cannot impose unreasonable and impossible requirements upon a profession or a school of medicine as to affect or prevent its practice. That is one of the things that some of these regulations do. They limit or prevent these places from operating as they have been able to most effectively operate. Therefore, it's in violation of State versus Gravit. Lawton versus Steele is another one, and that says you can't, under the guise of protecting the general public interest, you can't arbitrarily interfere with the private business or impose unusual or unnecessary restrictions upon lawful occupation. This is lawful occupation. In other words, its determination of what is proper exceeds its police powers. It's exceeding the police powers when cities and county governments come in and try to make places like this operate in a way which cannot allow them to continue. Without medicating here, we couldn't be here. We couldn't offer these groups because nobody would come.
Okay.
All right. Tell me one person who doesn't come here knowing that they can be here all day because they don't have to be out in the outside world.
That was my intentions.
All right.
Safe space.
Therefore, them saying the 1,000-foot rule means we are not allowed to do what we do here, that's in violation so far of 2 precedents. And we're working on more. State versus Biggs, another one with similar law problems. Dent versus West Virginia on a national level. ADA, it is in violation of American for Disability Act not to allow us to medicate in a place that was built for us to medicate.
Responsible adults.
Alright? Now, these 3 books here, this one, and this one, are full of citations in law that indicate that, I got even more upstairs. But these here,
thousands of books
because they're each that thick.
You want me to go get them?
No, because they're each a foot, they're each like 3 to 6. These 3 books here are full of legal arguments indicating that these facilities must be able to function as they were intended when they opened. And what we as patients have to do is we have to inspire the places that have allowed medicating to fight for the right to medicate.
Certainly.
This facility is going to go and get our permits, but we're also going to file a variance which allows for medicating. And the hope is that they will see that, because then it will set a legal precedent for other facilities to use that variance idea, file their own variance, and be able to medicate. Because if we're not allowed to medicate here, then what are we doing here?
Huh?
We're here to help each other.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what
we're
we
here
do.
through our groups. We're here to have the doors open so we can sit together.
Lots of us.
Where else are we going to go? We're
I
not
just
allowed
go
to
for the
medicate.
love.
I know you do, honey.
Yeah.
There's another issue. There's another issue.
You do.
Hey, hey.
You get a question about the state card? You get a question about the state card? You get a question about the state card, dear?
I got mine.
Did you have a question about
The
the state
state
card?
card, when I get the state card, I won't be another for a year and a half. Does that mean I have to get a city?
No, it'll be okay here too.
Okay.
The universal card, isn't
No,
it?
it's universal all the way
I
throughout
can
the whole
use it
state.
in San Diego then, huh?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And if you have
That's
cannabis in your car, always keep it in the trunk. And if the CHP try to take it away, that they're breaking 100.69, which is their own code, that says they shall not take medical cannabis with documentation's medicine away from them.
the state
So always carry your state card with you. And I would also
I got
recommend.
my by
And
prescription.
your recommendation, I would ask you to go to a Kinko's or something like that and have it shrunk down and laminated.
I
and
went
carry-
down, but I gotta tell you,
It's not on.
Help
it's
me.
getting
Read,
all
I know,
over
but
the
on the
state of
one hand it may
California,
help, but on
as
the
well
other
as the
hand-
back in Washington as
on the other
well.
hand, it doesn't always help. Getting them that small doesn't
Well,
always help.
I'm not going that small.
You know, I'd say
I'm
get it
talking
that
about like
size.
this.
That
This
size.
is the
Thank you,
size
David.
right here. This is the size.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
size.
This is the size that you should have your recommendation shrunk down to. And have it
small.
done in the color of the paper
Yeah, the
of the
paper, yeah,
original.
that's great.
Right.
And
Very
laminate.
important, and have it laminated, and stick it in your purse, or fold it up, and put it in a
Those
box.
are only good
Cars.
usually for what, 2 years? Up to 2 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
up to 2 years.
Well, Randy, what about, I heard you mention one day that we were gonna get our own cards here. And where are you at? Where are you at in terms of the implementation of us getting our own cards just for $3.50?
Okay, now two things about this. What these cards will be, they will not be a protection card. They will be a membership card. That's
For the
different.
state?
I like the idea of a leaflet. Consider that.
I got that flyer to go to that thing where you were talking about. Well, the flyer said from 3 to 4:30, but actually it said started at 2. So I missed the first hour.
Yeah, there has been documentation that's been distributed in the community that is bogus.
You have to feed my meter.
Like the DEA agents, they'll put out, they'll find out that we're having, a demonstration, right? So they'll come out with their own flyers,
Yeah.
and they'll say a different locale, or sometimes they say with a different time,
I got the
sometimes
flyer
they say
here,
a
though.
different date. It's pretty bad. I mean, this is the kind of BS that we are putting up with.
Are we talking about Bush?
No,
We're talking about everybody, CIA, DEA, everybody that gets paid, everybody that gets paid to have the drug war, okay? Which isn't a war on drugs, but is a war on human beings. It destroys the American fabric of America. The children
we
become
haven't got to hit
orphans.
the joint back here yet.
Yeah, let me get back over there. Okay,
You
now,
know where the
let
war
me
is
just,
at?
let me just,
The war is in,
Gonna get it done.
is in
Hold on,
people's
that's my,
minds.
I'll read that one.
yeah.
Let me get another
I
down.
just
The
wanna,
war is
what's that?
The war is in people's minds.
Well, there's that.
Okay.
No, dear, there's people dying.
Yes, if
unfortunately.
people, if everybody.
There's people
quit
being
thinking
arrested too. No, there's a war, all right?
and just
There's
start
more than, there's a war, it's more than in the brain.
Outside of
thinking
the
with what
mind.
No,
God gave
it's,
them,
it's,
not their stinking
It's a war, all
mind.
right.
It's
Yeah,
outside
it
their
begins
mind.
Everybody
in the
would be
mind.
free and we all.
Outside their body.
It
we all
begins
die
in the
together,
mind,
man.
so it's very right there.
yes.
But I just
Good
want to
cause.
clarify about these cards
We
we're
all
coming
came
up
together
with.
for Jesus.
I would still advise you all to get, because first of all, you can't get one of these membership cards unless we verify, call your doctor and stuff. But get your letters, and also get whatever other cards you want so that you can go throughout the state. What this here membership
Really?
cards
Yeah.
are for
I was
here
just making sure he got it.
is to make sure that, everybody can come here, because there's also some patients in some counties that aren't going to be making cards used to depend in San Francisco. And since the San Francisco cards are no longer being made, this place has had a lot of those patients who come up here for treatment that need access to this place and their medicine. So they'll bring in their updated letters, we'll verify, and we'll also make the membership card available to them.
You can't go to Department of Public Health anymore to
You
get your
go
card?
to the
No,
general
you can't.
hospital.
Until you got
There's
the
and there's nowhere to sit down at General
Yeah, I
Hospital
haven't-
either.
To get
It's a
one of
very
these
horrible
county
place
cards.
to have to wait in line to
Yeah.
get your card.
I'm glad I got my
Expired.
card when I did, because I must have caught it right at the end.
The problem is,
also,
again,
Yeah.
the
a month before
misinterpretation.
your card expires, you have to go to your primary care doctor and get the prescription, and then you take that out to general because it takes a month before you get your card. You don't get it
Thanks for
right
telling
away.
me.
It's going to be mailed to you, but it takes a month.
Isn't that ridiculous that they can't have it on the spot?
Yeah, that's
Especially
why
with this
you know to
war
have
on
your
drugs.
doctor's recommendation letter is really important to always have with you.
Now, we're
basically
running into
always.
a problem with some
The
doctors
papers for the Gestapo.
who are not signing on to this new thing for several reasons.
Dr. Ellis?
Dr. Ellis is not because of the date discrepancy. According to doctors, they put one date down.
Right.
And they say you're allowed to go from this date to this date. So
Which is the way it should be.
Yeah, that's like any legal document. This is how long the doctor intends for you to use this course of treatment. And then they'll make some decisions after that. But what the state card says is, it's a year card based on when we decide, when you get your paperwork into us. So it could be after the date that the doctor gave you the card, and then a year from that date, which could be after the course of action time, when the doctor wants you to discontinue or talk to him about a renew. So basically, again, bureaucracy is making a medical decision.
Well, in a perfect world, it would be great if we could go ahead and see our doctor one time. They'd say your ailment is what's going on, and almost be a lifetime card, because you're not going to get over your sickness in 1 year. I mean, once again, they're generating income. They're generating income off the sick. They're making sick people pay $150, $300, you know, whatever. It's crap. You know, it's crap.
That's not what we had in mind when Proposition 215 was created.
No.
That's for sure.
I don't mind paying my fair share. But
Right.
when they're coming at me like
Exploiting the patients is
exactly,
wrong.
exactly, because
The
most
other
of
one's
us
on SSI and disability.
exactly, you know, it's either eat or get your medicine.
Yeah, fixed income.
Well, that's because, and at the Medi-Cal, they pay
Oh, and the co-ops too,
And then
they're also
Medicare,
talking
you
about
pay
charging
$50.
patients for the co-ops.
Okay,
Let's see what Randy's got to say
here's the
here.
other problem. There is a list
It's terrible.
of serious medical conditions. Now the problem is, again, the misinterpretation of SB 420.
Judgment Day.
Okay?
All right, I want my
Okay.
It's back the way I told you I wanted it.
This is a problem that we're running into with doctors left, front, and center. They see this list, the way it is printed up in the application is an only list. AIDS, anorexic arthritis, cataract, cancer, chronic pain, glaucoma, migraine, persistent muscle spasms, seizures, severe nausea. And then they leave it at that. So doctors are saying that those are the only conditions. However,
Although that covered a lot when you really think of it.
However,
There you go.
okay, Article H12A. Any other chronic or persistent medical symptoms.
That's it, that's all.
Okay?
That covers everything.
So that substantially limits the ability of the person to conduct one or more major life activities as defined in the Americans with Disability Act of 1990. And B, if not alleviated, may cause serious harm to the patient's safety or physical or mental health. These are critical issues because a majority of patients who do get other medication from their doctors also rely on cannabis as well. Some of us who can't take any other medicines but cannabis. They rely on this medication, cannabis, for the issues described here. And cutting it off and saying only those who fit into this one defined group is a direct violation of the intention and the written law of SB 420. It is a violation of ADA, it's a violation of civil rights, it's a violation of Prop 215, and it's a violation of SB 420.
And the federal government
Engendered since 1992 and has had additions to it since Prop 215 passed, which indicate that doctors should be permitted and enabled to make sure that patients are alleviated of pain to the inclusion of using opioids. Okay? Now then, there are so many levels of law that are being violated when we're not permitted the peaceful enjoyment and access to our medicine. So, any questions?
How about doctors that take Hippocratic oaths stop being hypocrites and allow us to have our medicine?
Remember, the Conant decision was passed in 1997 and is held up to scrutiny every year that it is brought before the Supreme Court in California legislation. Conant says that doctors are permitted to talk with their patients, are permitted to give them information, and are permitted to recommend and refer. Kaiser,
And then we, like,
you know, there
a
are
long
people
time.
that since back then have quietly been supportive of this. Stop having fear. This is just like McCarthy era stuff. The best way to end a nightmare is to put your foot down, slam your fist on the
I'm just
table,
getting over all
and
that
just
cold, you know?
say K-N-O-W.
Yes. Dare
Excellent.
to know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, after we just kind of ranted and raved a little bit how bad things are, when we really look at it, you know, we have come a long way, so we have to celebrate our good things. And I think 350 Divisadero, the San Francisco Patient Cooperative, is one that really does care about the patients. That was a good meeting.
All right,
Go to
everybody, thank you.
www.jackherrera.com. Become educated about the initiative that he's trying to pass and help us get the rest of the 10% that we need in California to get this war over with. That is, once again, www.jackherrera.com. Learn about the initiative. Help us end this war on good people. And our sacred herb, which is not a drug. I do not do drugs, nor do I do narcotics. Thank you.
Well, for participating.
All right, thank you.
Love you! Yay!
Yeah.
All right.
That's your table, yeah.
You got, I'm gonna put these